So what is the standard deviation indicator, or in other words, the DVA, the developing value area indicator? Very simply put, it's an indicator that uses anchored VWAP, which I've represented here as an orange line. It uses anchored VWAP and then builds standard deviations around that VWAP, and then gives us a gauge for how extended we are from VWAP. So let's say the black line here, this one, is price, right? What price will tend to do is that as it gets away from VWAP, you can use these deviations as a kind of like a gauge for how extended you are from VWAP, and then use some other tools like order flow and stuff to tell you, are we likely to return back to developing value, or are we so extended sometimes from developing value that we'll reject value and keep going down. So what I like to do, how I like to use this indicator is I will find levels using market profiling, the same stuff I always teach. Let's say a very simple one from today. We have this HVN, and we have a ledge right here of this HVN, and we have a ledge right here of this HVN, right? So price today, when this rejection happened, price was moving up, it hit this, and when it was hitting this, we didn't know if price was going to go back inside or it's going to reject. You know something big is going to happen because this is a key level, but you don't know what. Now you can trade it right here and just flip a coin or use order flow and whatnot. That in my opinion gets difficult. You're kind of putting yourself very susceptible to getting chopped around. What I like to do is, instead of trying to pick the top and bottom, let's use this 6150 as an example. I like to anchor a standard deviation indicator, a developing value area indicator, to the RTH open. So I've anchored it to when the market opens. And as we go up, as price fluctuates, let's see that the price has hit this 61 level. And when it was here, I didn't know if we're going to break out or if we're going to sell off. And I'm not interested in guessing. So what I like to do is I'll let it hit, and then I'll wait for them to do something. I'll wait for the market makers and the market itself to do something. So it hit this level and they started selling. Great. Well, I didn't catch the top. So unless I want to short it somewhere and put my stop all the way up here, and hold for all the way down here for good RVR, what I like to do is use the DVA indicator, right, to find entries for continuation play. So we know the selling has started somewhere here. So when it comes into this developing value right here, and then comes and retests this value, I'll take it short on the retest that the selling started here, and I'm trying to play the continuation of that selling. So great example was this one today. The selling started here. We didn't know if they're going to sell or buy here. When they came back into developing value and it looked like the sellers were stepping in, I thought it was a good opportunity to play shorts. So when it retested here, you can play it short, put your stop above the DVA, and ride it all the way down. Great R to R. It would be way better R to R than shorting it here and putting your stop all the way here. Yeah, and there's more concepts at play with DVA. There's a bunch of them. There's the DVA breakout and the DVA rotation. This one specifically is the DVA rotation. I'll make a video on how to play the DVA breakout on another day. But yeah, so when I'm referencing DVA rotations, this is what I mean. I hope that was helpful.